real stories of werewolves, of Dogman history, from your emails, illustrated and animated with the democratizing magic of machine learning AI. Welcome to Scary Stories.
Werewolf and Drone, Over New Jersey. Dear Scary Stories NYC, I saw a UFO and a werewolf both at the same time last night, and I think the one was related to the other. This happened in West Milford, New Jersey, less than 50 miles away from New York City. My friends and I went out for a ride to spook ourselves on Clinton Road because we had heard that it was haunted. Well, we didn't see any ghosts, but we sure had a memorable evening, to say the least. We were driving on a stretch of road through the country and the woods. Over there, Clinton Road is just 2 lanes with yellow stripes painted down the middle, and a whole lot of spooky-looking forest all around you. There are no lights, and the time we were out last night, we didn't see any other traffic. My buddies saw the weird light first, off in the distance. It was sometimes orangey, sometimes greenish, sometimes white-ish. Sometimes it was one light and other times there was 3 of them. He was talking about this to me for a while before they came down low enough that I could see them through the front windshield. Sure enough, it was a dark UFO or UAP or something. Probably about the same size as my car, but shaped sort of triangular, I guess you would say. It was dark against the dark sky. Then it had 3 lights, 1 on each corner. Not exactly triangular, but mostly. My buddy was describing what he was seeing, and it matched up about 80% of the time with what I was seeing. The trouble is, sometimes we seem to be seeing different things. We kept going in and out of sync with each other, and my buddy had the idea that we were seeing something from another dimension or reality that had the ability to be different things to different people. All at once, the triangular craft lit up very brightly, and beneath it was a tall, hairy man, which we could only see in silhouette. As the light moved from behind him to overhead, though, we could see that he had a head like a dog or wolf. He appeared to stand and move like a human, but he was more like some kind of a werewolf than a man. Both of us screamed, and I hit the brakes on the car, afraid to get any closer to that scene. So instead, the scene moved itself closer to us. The werewolf took notice of us and started to walk over. As it did so, the UFO hovered a little closer as well. My buddy yelled at me to back the car up, so I switched it into reverse. However, when I did that, the engine conked out and sputtered into complete silence. At the time, I thought it was because of the cold, but now we both wonder if the engine failure had to do with that strange flying machine. The werewolf or Dogman was still approaching, so I tried to turn the key in the ignition over and over and over again. I could not get it to start. Both of us in that car were screaming and weeping like little girls in kindergarten. Buddy panicked and got out of the car, but the Dogman started moving in his direction, and he got right back into my Mazda inside of 2 seconds. I told him if he did that again, I'd leave him there, and he pointed out that I would have to get the car engine started before I could do that. The Dogman kept approaching and then retreating. It seemed as spooked by us as we were by it, but I don't know why, since it was super huge. I mean, taller than a bear, but with more of a human bodybuilder kind of a physique. The lights in the sky changed color a few times, but in a subtle manner. And they weren't like disco lights. The colors were sort of more muted and weird. Not your typical shades that you see every day, but they were very bright. I kept thinking I saw things flying out of the forest and up into the ship or whatever that UFO was, but I'm not 100% certain. My friend said he saw things that were dark and kept changing their shape as they flew up out of the bushes and into the craft. I'm not sure what we were actually looking at when that was going on, and I'm probably not describing it very well either. I mean, in the moment I thought they were living creatures, but they kept morphing and warping in shape. At any rate, it was dark and neither of us could be certain what we were seeing as far as that went. The Wolfman or Dogman was acting so nervous. He was making me more nervous too. I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, and I felt a sort of a deep sense of hopelessness and doom. My friend next to me, though, he was continuing to freak out and panic. He reached across me and started banging on the car horn as loud and hard as he could. Well, the UFOs might be able to turn your car engine off, but they don't seem to have figured out how to lower the volume on your old car horn. The Dogman got so scared by the beeping, I thought he was about to leap straight up into the air and climb up into that UFO. He couldn't stand the noise. I can't say exactly how it happened, but the Dogman and the UFO both left. My buddy says the Wolfman got sucked up into the UFO, and then they flew away. But what I remember seeing was that they both sort of got pinched by the back of them, and then kind of pulled out of our reality. Like it wasn't so much they went somewhere else, as they stopped being where they were. Does that make any sense? So anyway, we sat there for a while in the dark, just sort of catching our breath and getting over the shock of it. My buddy pointed to the clock on my dashboard and said it must be wrong. I looked over and saw what he meant. If that clock was right, then we had been there for over an hour. It only seemed as though we'd been there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes maximum. We both checked our phones, and sure enough, we really both had been there for something like 65 or 70 minutes. Then my friend was like, "Hey, how come we only just decided to check our phones now? Like, how come we didn't take any pictures of that UFO or the monster?" Neither of us could explain it. Then Buddy said, "Why don't you try starting the car?" I did, and it worked. Anyway, that's our story. Make of it what you will. Addendum. Hey, my friend tells me that people were seeing UFOs all over the state of New Jersey on December 10th, which is the night when we saw what we saw. They're calling them drones, though. One of our congressmen is saying they're from Iraq or Iran or something. If that's true, then they've got some pretty advanced equipment over there in that desert. And I hope someone is still in charge of the U.S. military who can deal with this until the next executive takes charge. Let's pray this is not as bad as it could be. Let's pray for our country and for each other.
It's a classic all over. Play with the scary stories, got it. It's a classic all over. Bloody and hysterical to go. Available in white, black, navy, gray, or pink. Link is in the description.
Tonight we'd like to thank Sharon Smirnoff, our executive producer for this episode. Sharon is a member of our PayPal subscribers club, which means she got to see our recent secret uncensored members only Dogman story. To find out more, listen to our TV spokesmongrel Henry Lee Dogman. Hank? Thanks, Biggie. And thanks to all of you for watching this far. If you liked it, please click like. If you'd like to see more of our work, please subscribe. And also click that bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we put out a new episode. To become an executive producer, you can donate to us through the thanks button under each of our videos or through our paypal.me/PeterBernard209 page. To receive cool perks like secret uncensored Dogman episodes far too wild to ever run on this channel, you can become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button. Or join our PayPal subscribers club at peterbernard.com. Joining either at the $3 a month level or above gets you access to our over 25 hours of secret uncensored Dogman stories available nowhere else. Do you have a scary story about Dogman or some other kind of high strangeness that happened to you? Let us know by emailing us at scarystoriesnyc@gmail.com or by leaving us a voicemail message at 804-LA-SCARY. You may need to call back on that one. It cuts off after, I think, 3 minutes. And if you don't want to do any of that stuff, thank you for simply watching to the end. Good night, and have a scary tomorrow.
Come back for more scary stories.